3 more gates, so well, basically if Dimaga scouts that, it will look to him as if Elfie is going for another 3-gate expansion, and with a 4th gate in the back of the base of Elfie, he can do a 4-gate push. So Dimaga at the moment is not scouting a lot with his Overlord, so he has no idea about the back of Elfie's base, whereas in the front he sees just uh, all those sentries, and this is going to be pretty interesting because Dimaga will just drone up. He's going to produce a lot of drones right now. We see the Roach Burner for the Zerg player once again. He's on 37 supply versus 38 right now, and we have 30 drones for Dimaga, whereas Elfie stopped producing sentries. And it's just warping in a couple, not sentries, sorry, stopped producing sentries as well, but I was mainly referring to the probes. No more probes for Elfie, just going for another pylon and then probably warping in another couple of units. Right now we see Dimaga scouting, and that was actually, well, not pretty lucky, but now he definitely knows what's coming up, and he's not relying on drones anymore. He's already on 35 to 26. So here comes Elfie with his 4-gate push and just warping in another pylon in order to get his units right to the front and blocking that chokes of Dimaga's, and that's actually a really, really smart move. No more reinforcements will be able to get down that choke, and so Dimaga has to fight with only 4 roaches available, and here come more Stalkers for Elfie, and Elfie basically, oh, he shouldn't fight there. He should fight out of the range of the units up on the choke. Going for a couple of zealots, and this looks pretty good. Elfie with 57 supply versus 48, and a lot of this supply is actually drones for Dimaga. So Dimaga in a lot of trouble, just losing a couple of units. Elfie on a lot of minerals right now. So at the moment he's just warping in more units, attacking the expansion of his opponent, and Dimaga desperately trying to throw down spore crawlers in order to defend his expansion, but it doesn't look like he's able to repel the attack of the Protoss player. And now losing drones as well, just trying to escape with all those harvesters, but there's no way as Elfie's just focusing all those, but Elfie should have kept a couple of sentries back there in order to renew the force field, but at the moment it doesn't look like Dimaga is able to throw back the attack of Elfie. Elfie's just warping in more units as we speak, relying on a couple of zealots in the front and of course stalkers in the back to attack the units of Dimaga, and Dimaga losing all his drones and the game as well. GG by the Zerg player, and once again Dimaga is not able to get points in the Black Dragon League. Lost both matches of the best of the best of 3, so that was really, really fast. Sean definitely could have stayed for that one. Yeah, well, anyway, so we have another game later on. We have Mana versus Naniva, and in the meantime I'll probably just play a song, browse through some of the comments, and after that we will continue with the next game, and of course with questions of you guys. So for now it will be at least one song to give me a short break, and so I can get something to drink as well. So let's see, what do we have? Let's start with this one, Lost Prophets with Can't Catch Tomorrow. So I'll just mute myself and see you in a second. And I'm actually a moron, aren't I? I mean, of course, the series is tight now, and we have a 3rd game. Stupid me. Okay guys, the 3rd game started, so I'm really sorry for this brain fart of mine. Elfie won the 2nd game, but as he lost the 1st one, this is obviously the 3rd game of the best of 3. So Dimaga still has the chance to just win the game on Blistering Sands and win another game in the Black Dragon League. Blistering Sands is a map that's actually in favor of the Zerg player. Roaches are so strong on this map, and it's actually quite easy for the Zerg to pressure the main base of the Protoss player by attacking the rocks behind the base, and of course we have another attack position right here where the Zerg player, the Protoss player is going to expand. Basically one of the main things that the Protoss player can do is attack. Well, the last couple of strategies I've seen on this game, on this map, is going for a 4-gate, for example, or just do Blink Stalkers, one of these, and trying to block the ramp of his opponent just with a couple of force fields in order to get a good attack position against the Zerg player. I'm not quite sure what Elfie is going to do, but it's really hard for a Protoss player to kill the Zerg on this map. So that's one of the maps that's most of the time just also gets a thumbs down when the map vote starts. And one of the things that Elfie is really good at, I mean, he basically played the same thing on Metalopolis that I was referring to early on when Dana and I talked. He just faked an expansion and went for his 4-gate, which is a pretty good idea. He didn't even build this Nexus this time and cancelled it later on, but he just built the 4th gateway in the back of his base and just went for the sentry, built the pylon at the bottom of the ramp. And Dimaga had to assume that Elfie is going for an expansion and droned up, built a lot of drones, and when Elfie finally attacked with his 4-gate push, it was just way too late for Dimaga to defend this. He did a really good job holding it off for a while, but after Elfie just was able to force field the ramp and already kill off half his army, the game was basically over. Dimaga is going for his hatchery after he built the spawning pool, and the extractor is doing the same thing he did the last couple of games, immediately pulls all the drones out of the extractor and moves them onto the mineral patches. Just researching his speed for the overlords, and we see Elfie once again using Chrono Boost to get his warp grade upgrade, and he's on 23 harvesters right now, warping in another 2 gateways, and in the meantime has enough gas, has 300 gas right now, but is not going for a sentry at the moment. He does have the supply as well, has 1 sentry so far, and on the other side of the map we see Dimaga once again with his Roach Warren, so relying on roaches, no surprise here, and once again Elfie with his pylon. Let's have a look in the main base of the Protoss player, and Dimaga is lagging, he's lagging all the time. I feel that his internet connection is really unstable. I'm not quite sure whether he's lagging or whether his internet is just spiking sometimes, which makes him lag in the game. Would actually be quite interesting to know how that affects him. We see a Nexus being built for Elfie, and he didn't even... now he's warping in his sentries. So he has 3 sentries at the moment in order to block off these chokes with force fields, and Dimaga is just producing more and more drones. He's already on 30 harvesters right now with an income of 1,000 minerals per minute, and is getting more drones as we speak. 7 additional drones being built. We see a lair tech for the Zerg player, and of course the Protoss player is just getting his forge. Which is typical for that build. Most of the Protoss players are just relying on the forge as well. And we have 3 gates for Elfie. He will get a couple of more gates soon, and of course probably building his robotics facility as well. Right now just killing off that Zergling, and we have Overlord for Dimaga hovering at the destructible rocks, and a pylon for Elfie as well, so that he knows immediately when his opponent is trying to sneak in through the back. And that's actually pretty smart. So at the moment Dimaga is trying to sneak a Zergling into the main base of his opponent, but he's actually succeeding. Elfie doing so well, just warping in that Zealot, and he didn't put him on hold position, so right now he's able to see the robotics facility for his opponent. Elfie doing the same thing he did on Xel'Naga Caverns. He's researching Hallucination once again, going for his robotics. So that's basically the same play he used on the first map, where he lost to Dimaga due to the unit control of the Zerg player, and Dimaga just going for another couple of extractors at his hatchery, at his natural expansion. He's on 47 harvesters right now, has a superior income, and is currently producing a couple of upgrades for his roaches. He's researching Borrow as well as the roach speed, and more harvesters being added to the economy of Dimaga. Whereas Elfie is just getting his robotics bay. So once again it will be Colossi for the Protoss player, and that's just a strategy we've seen the last couple of weeks played quite a lot. It has been played by nearly all the players on the FX Open as well as the Assembly Land versus Zerg. And as Sean already said, he doesn't really like that, because the main problem is that the Zerg player is able to drone up. He is able to build up his economy, get a really strong economy, and just try to overwhelm his opponent with units. That's exactly what Dimaga basically did on the first map, Naga Caverns, and which he will try to do again now. But well, Insolence, when I talked to him, agreed that this strategy definitely has its problems, but as he lacks a superior one, he's still sticking to it, which is probably the case for most of the Protoss players out there. So Dimaga is trying to get a gold expansion once again, which hasn't been scouted yet by his opponent. I'm not quite sure about that, so I will check. Yep, no, Elfie doesn't have any idea at all that a gold expansion is being built, but his observer, being chrono boosted in the robotics, is on its way and will scout the hatchery quite easily, which he did right now. We have a Hydralisk Den for the Zerg player, and in the meantime he's building a Spire as well. Elfie, on the other hand, is just getting his first Colossi and the range upgrade, extended thermal lance, and Dimaga is still lagging. He's always lagging just a little bit, and well, I don't like that a lot. I have no idea what the problem is, if it's just his internet connection or his PC. Well, we have to ask him later on. This would actually be kind of interesting to know. Well, at the moment, the Zerglings are attacking the destructible rocks and the Colossus moving in when Dimaga getting more and more drones. He's on 50 drones right now. He will be on 56 within a couple of seconds. And as soon as he takes control of the rich mineral fields, his income will once again skyrocket. And I'm not too sure if Elfie will be able to compete with that. So Elfie has to really time his attack very, very well in order to win this game. And this map won't be easy for him at all. He probably hoped to win the first 2 games of the series, but well, let's see how he'll do in the late game. We don't have any upgrade. Ah, here it comes. +1 attack upgrade for the Zerg, for the Protoss player, and the Zerg once again trying to damage the destructible rocks in the back of the base. So let's take a peek into the main base of Dimaga. Right now he's on 56 harvesters against 49 for Elfie, and also getting attack upgrades for his roaches, +1 attack being researched in the evolution chamber. And Elfie is just waiting, getting a couple of units. Supply wise, he's already yeah, Dimaga's already had with 30 supply. That's exactly the same situation we saw on Naga Caverns. That's exactly the same situation, despite the with the small difference that Dimaga has the rich mineral fiends right now. On the last map, on the first map of the series, he was just able to get his third expansion, or his third base, his second expansion of the blue mineral fields. And now Elfie is moving in, he's 40 supply behind immediately with a nice placement. The Corruptors are attacking the Colossi. There are only 2 Colossi in the army of the Protoss player, and Dimaga is just moving in, has to be a little bit careful with the force fields, and immediately Elfie is using the force field, on the choke in order to split the army of the Zerg player, and Elfie lost tons of units during that battle. He's on a 90 supply right now, and Dimaga on 166, still producing more and more units, couple of Mutalisks as well. +1 attack upgrade is done right now, and Elfie losing everything he has, dropping down to 60 supply. And I don't think that Elfie will be able to win this game as it's currently just, yeah. He's just writing EG. He doesn't even try. There's no point in trying. He has only a third of the supply of his opponent. So Dimaga takes this series after all to